Now this thing is one of the more interesting IEMs I've seen so far. It's from Simgot, a brand name that I like. It's apparently a new gaming IEM called the EG280. And for this one, I took a little different approach for testing. I didn't actually learn about this product beforehand. I straight away started listening to this to see if I observe anything. And the first thing I observed was the top end. It's surprisingly more sparkly and tight, like well represented, but the rest of the frequencies were good, on par with what I expected for this price, meaning that really solid. But why is the top end so interesting? It doesn't sound like balanced armatures, it doesn't sound like anything else. I initially thought it may be some piezoelectric transducers, the way they have done with their other IEMs. Turns out it's a planar magnetic driver in here, which is handling the top end, and a dynamic driver is handling bass and mids. That's why there is no compromise in the low end thump while having supreme top end. I've spoken about planar magnetic drivers before and how they are great for highly tuned, precise audio, especially in the top end. And Simgot has leveraged that capacity here along with the dynamic driver to give you that extra clarity, apparently for gaming. I actually liked how they sound for music as well. You may know that I don't play a lot of games, but since these do perform well, I tested the stereo performance as well, the surround sound, and I was impressed. Now I will say that there are some slightly better gaming oriented IEMs, like I think the Final Audio VR series, like the VR 2000, 3000, they are a little bit better than this, but they don't sound very good for music. This one does. This is exceptional. At least, again, in comparison of gaming IEMs. So I guess in a strange way I could say this is the best musical gaming IEM, if that makes sense. It's made for gaming, it's made for that stereo sound, it's made for that highly precise, representation, but it still sounds good for other multimedia as well. So I suppose that makes it a better all-round package. And although gaming gear aren't really typically meant to be, jack of all trades, these kind of are. The build quality is nice. The design is a little bit different for a typical Simgot IEM. The back is metal and the symbol, you may recognize that, but the front is a translucent plastic cover. It's common for KZ and other brands, but it's a little unusual for Simgot, at least among the ones I've tried. I mean, I'm not complaining, it's fine. And the cable is super long, ideally meant to, connect to your PC or anything with ample amount of length. Also, I noticed the way they have coiled this cable, like this part of the cable before the split, is like extremely tight. It feels kind of like a worm, if that makes sense. The texture, I mean, like it feels like a worm crawling in your hand. Does it have something to do with the snake symbol up here? I don't know. Maybe it's an intentional design choice. It does feel pretty strong, it's pretty sturdy. I like it. But it's a little unusual. A lot of unusual things here by Simgot standards. But hey, I like what I see and what I hear. You still get deep resounding bass and pretty good mids, maybe slightly lower than expected upper mids. It's okay. But the top end is phenomenal. You get that extended sparkly sound, the kind of which you would expect from a planar driver. I don't know, man. Planar magnetic has become sort of like my favorite driver technology. If I'm gonna buy like a large over-ear headphone, I'm gonna go for a planar one next. That seems to be a good balance between the ease of driving it and getting the best, most accurate type sound. There's also electrostatic, but that requires an energizer. It requires a lot more power, I think. I still have to experiment with that. But anyway, these IEMs are fantastic. The Simgot EG280 is an easy recommendation. I like it. I'll link this down in the description. And of course, you can pick this unit up from me at half price if you wish.